Welcome to Cine Here, where you come for all your media needs. My name is Ray.
It's your boy Nikki Tay.
And today we are reviewing Solo, a Star Wars story.
Directed by Ron Howard, starring Alden Ehrenreich, Woody Harrelson, Emilia Clarke, and Donald Childish Gambino Glover. So we have Solo. You know, this is Disney magic at its finest. You take the core franchise and then you bud off every story you possibly can to soak up every dollar you possibly can. Am I mad? No. Do I need it? Is the real question. And Solo is a movie I did not need. Let's be frank. Harrison Ford is Han Solo. What makes Han Solo so amazing is the fact that it's Harrison Ford. I mean, at the time the original movie came out, Harrison Ford was young, he was spunky, he was just a guy you wanted to be. White or black, Han Solo was the epitome of the space cowboy. And then what did Harrison Ford go and do? He became Indiana Jones? Like, how cool is Harrison Ford? And that just makes Han Solo even cooler. Now, Alden, you seem like a pretty nice guy. You didn't do a bad job as Han Solo. But those boots that you had to fill, my guy,
Are almost unfillable.
Almost unfillable. And, I mean, I don't think anybody really expected you to fill them, but that is what makes Solo so passable, which is so unfortunate for one of the premier characters within the Star Wars franchise.
To me, this movie was just another space adventure movie with the Star Wars skin on top of it.
Oh, just layered.
It's just all over it, just like, ugh. But when you pick through that,
Ooh,
you realize that this movie is really empty. The stakes just wasn't high enough in Solo. And that was one of my biggest gripes. I never really felt a sense of urgency from the people that were acting out the scenes in the movie. I never really felt nothing was on the line in this movie. And maybe that's really why the movie fell short.
What do you think? Well, what do you know?
Because when you got Rogue One, even though you know the ending, the stakes still felt so big. The stakes felt so big even though you knew the outcome. In Solo, the stakes didn't feel that. It just didn't feel that way.
which is the biggest problem with Solo? And I'm glad you brought up Rogue One. How Rogue One succeeded is that the movie was built off the whole premise of espionage, and it delivered a great spy movie. It didn't have to be in space. It didn't have to have lightsabers. It delivered a great story. Solo tries to deliver you the Star Wars story with no lightsabers, no really good running central theme, and you know, you throw in these characters. I love Chewbacca. Chewbacca's amazing, great. You throw in the hidden villain at the end, great. We haven't seen him in a long time, wonderful. But just because you throw in those nostalgic pieces doesn't mean that it'll make the movie. It won't make the movie.
But we're not trying to say that the movie's terrible.
No.
Because the movie's not terrible.
Not terrible.
It just doesn't live up to what we expect from a Star Wars movie.
Low expectations.
But outside of those things, the actors did well. I think Woody Harrelson, I like to affectionately call him the Black Samuel Jackson. Woody Harrelson did Woody Harrelson. You bring him in the movie, you know exactly what you're gonna get, and it's always good.
I was happy.
It's just like Samuel Jackson. When you get those kind of people, you know exactly what you're gonna get, and it's always satisfying. So Woody Harrelson did a great job. Childish Gambino,
AKA Donald Glover,
also did well.
I thought he did a really good job.
Now, I don't know if I need a whole movie about Lando Calrissian.
I heard a story about you. I was wondering if it's true.
Everything you've heard about me is true.
I don't think I need it either.
But I did enjoy him in this particular movie.
Definitely. I could really feel that Donald Glover somehow, some way grows up into Billy D. Williams. It was a smooth transition. The character, I could see it. I believe it. Alden into Harrison Ford, come on. I mean, again, no knock against Alden. You did the best you could. But it just wasn't enough for me.
I agree.
And truthfully, I don't think there is anybody in the world that could deliver enough.
Harrison Ford?
A young Harrison, CGI Harrison Ford is the only thing that would have done better. Now, again, Solo isn't a bad movie, but it gives me information at least I didn't particularly care about. I mean, have you ever sat and wondered how did Han Solo and Chewbacca first meet? I know I haven't, but the movie tells you. How did Han Solo get the Millennium Falcon? The movie tells you, you just don't care because you always assume that it's his. Even though in the original, we know that it was originally Lando's. Great, we can see how the ship traded hands, but again, Solo is just delivering all of the things that it thought that people wanted to see, but we really don't care. It is at the crux of Star Wars, the balance of good versus evil, the hope in the darkness, and Solo is just none of that. And it's no lightsabers. I mean, give me one lightsaber battle and I might be happier with this movie.
This movie didn't really add anything to the Star Wars franchise, but one thing that it did do, it answered those questions for those that did want to know. So I'm not going to take anything away from trying to answer those questions of how he met Chew and how did he get the Millennium Falcon. So those kind of questions are fine, but I just didn't need the whole movie. Maybe a short could have been suffice for something like that.
Maybe short.
Maybe a flashback could have been suffice.
I'm liking the flashback
to answer those kind of questions. I didn't need a whole Star Wars movie, especially when there's so many other characters that we'd rather have a movie from.
Oh, and I could do that list, but that might be a whole nother video.
Give me a Mace Windu after he fell out the...
Oh, you want to go there?
Yeah, just give me that. Is he alive? Is he dead? Like, fill us in. Put Woody Harrelson and Samuel Jackson in the movie. That is what I want to see, Star Wars. Give me that, Frank Lucas.
That don't even make sense, but I'll take it.
In closing, Solo. Hopefully it's the only Solo to ever come out again.
One and done.
One and done. Like I said, the movie wasn't terrible. I just had such high expectations because of what the franchise normally delivers, especially with the Disney magic sprinkled all over it. Walt Disney could not save this film. Childish Gambino could not save this film. Harrison Ford might have. So in closing, I will have to give this movie a 7. It's not too bad to where I wouldn't say go watch it, but I definitely think it's a movie that you can watch on your own free time.
Solo, a Star Wars story. It is a Star Wars story. Is it a good story? They should have specified that. I think, as many people will think seeing this movie, it just does not live up to the hype. I think it's because we are just simply expecting that Harrison Ford charm on the screen to deliver a story about Han Solo that we would find interesting, and we didn't get that. We got, again, characters with the Star Wars skin plucked in front of our faces to rob us of our hard-earned money. The movie is entertaining. This isn't a argument to just say, don't see this movie, it's bad. It's entertaining. It's just not as good as a Star Wars fan would hope. I also have to give this movie a 7. Because again, it delivers a movie that you can watch. There were scenes where I cheered. There were scenes where I said, oh wow, I had all of the emotions that I needed for this film. But when I left, I said, I'm not satisfied. That completes the review of Solo, a Star Wars story. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we want to hear from you. We love talking with you. I know this Star Wars one is one that could stir up a lot of debate because who doesn't go hard for Star Wars?
Everybody does.
It's a lot of fans out there, passionate fans, and we want to hear from you. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell to make sure you stay up to date with all of our reviewing content. And as always, don't forget, you've seen it here. It's a sad Chewie. Like you said earlier, there are so many people they could have done. They could have done Mace Windu. They could have done Boba Fett, which apparently is coming. Obi-Wan, Kenobi. Hell, I'll take a Qui-Gon Jinn story. Shit, I'll take an R2D story. R2D, give me a 40-minute how did he get made? Like, there are a lot of other questions I had other than what did a Han Solo do before he met Jabba the Hutt?
Yeah, I didn't need that. There's a lot of other stories. Give me some more dark side related stories. You know, give me a Darth Maul.
Give me more people with lightsabers, because that's all we really care about is lightsabers and the Republic being destroyed. That's all we want to see. So, Ron Howard, Disney, come on. And as always, don't forget, you've seen it here.
Come on, Chewie.